Hey everyone, it's Rob Golfi here with REMAX, the Golfi team. I've got Conrad Zerini, broker owner of REMAX Escarpment, REMAX Niagara. This guy loves taking his vacations where there's a seminar or a function of real estate. And then we got Brian Hogbin here, Mission 35 Mortgages. I only see him on Zoom. I don't know what he looks like in real life. I don't know if he's the real man, if he's AI.
Right, I don't even wear pants in real life, Rob. No
we
pants.
only could see him on Zoom. That's it. But anyway, I want to talk about, actually, I want to bring up one thing. I went to an open house. I went in disguise this past week.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Like undercover boss?
Yeah, I went undercover. I put the cap on, sunglasses, shorts. I look like, I look like a tourist. I walked in and it was in Haldeman. And I walked in, nice house. They greeted me when they walked in. I was with a few other people. And the person went and sat down right at the kitchen table and let us roam around the house. Big, like I'm actually having a meeting Tuesday. I hope none of my agents do this. This is wrong, and they should not let me roam around. They didn't even ask questions: who I was, where I'm from, what am I looking for, all that kind of stuff. Zero. That person was just there killing time, working on their computer, not there to sell that house. And and even the people I was with, they weren't realtors. They said, Rob, I can't believe what these guys, this agent
no
just
security,
did.
nothing. But you know, Rob, I will send you, because there is a book about how to work like Apple, right? And there's a section, if they're Apple, like they're the staff were real estate agents, what would they do at an open house? I'm going to flip it to you. And I teach an open house course. Just read it. It is amazing that what Apple does as a company and how they translate it into real estate. Read it to your people. And that is exactly what you should do when you greet a consumer. You're supposed to ask them, like, hey, do you want me to show you around? Is there something you're particularly looking for? You know, that kind of thing. And I can point things out to you if you want. Yeah. But I'll tell you, you got to read it. It's amazing. You should read it.
I definitely want it. It's so important. I couldn't believe.
It's terrible.
They didn't recognize me. Like I said, I had baseball cap on, sunglasses, T-shirt, and shorts. And you know what? And when they saw my legs, they knew that guy could not be a realtor. That's it.
Gross.
They saw my legs and they said, no.
Well, it's funny. I listened to a podcast this morning. It was just with Alex Ramosi. He's the guy who's big online right now. But they're saying the bigger ticket item you have, the more preparation you need. Right. And it's common sense. If you got a big ticket item with a big ticket commission, why wouldn't you prepare like it's a big ticket item? And some people are preparing like you're selling a $50 item.
Oh, it's terrible.
You know, but you're selling $10,000 like a.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'll tell you something. When we do some open houses, we know it's an item, like a house that is going to get a lot of action. We'll have two agents there.
Good for you.
We actually prep and make sure there's two agents there, because there's a lot of activity going through the house. We want to make sure that we can accommodate everybody and keep an eye on things, because you know what, like you open up your door for a lot of different things. So, but the key thing is, I was shocked at how this person let us roam through the house without even caring whether we were upstairs, roaming around doing anything. But
it must have been their brother. Terrible. Maybe there's their brother who was the real estate agent.
It wasn't. It wasn't. And believe me, it wasn't a REMAX agent, because a REMAX agent wouldn't do that.
Well, I'll tell you something. You know what? Like, you could ask, so whose price was this? And then they throw the seller under the bus. Oh, this ain't my price. It's my idiot seller. They're crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
We've had recordings like that. Trust me. I've heard them.
So there's a couple of things I really want to talk about today. Now, this is in regards to investors. And so with today's home prices, is it still possible for investors to make money by buying, renovating, and renting out a single family home? Now, I'm talking about semis, townhouses, link homes. I don't see too many link homes posted anymore. Has everybody forgot about those?
Well,
or all those link homes now considered detached?
Well, yeah.
Remember the old days?
They're putting them in the extra marks, and actually TREB doesn't have link. Toronto Real Estate Board doesn't have a link, so it doesn't show up like that. Yeah,
gotcha. So we're excluding condos and apartment buildings, and if it's becoming too, is it becoming too expensive to buy now? Could that eventually shrink the supply of single family rentals? Now, the second part of this is, with the landlord and tenant board often seen as favoring tenants, which we know, could this discourage small landlords, ultimately reduce the supply of single family rentals homes in the future? I believe that is, because I was just talking to one of the girls that works for us here administratively. Her parents own 3 homes. They're going to sell them, right? They want to get out because of this landlord tenant stuff. Now, those 3 homes probably will be picked up by first time buyers.
Yeah, for sure.
So remember years ago, Hamilton, they needed people to get out of the rental to buy houses, and they were offering incentives. They're giving the down payment for 20 years. They keep the house for 20 years. They get to keep the down payment. If they don't, they have to pay it back. Now, if that was like that 5-10 years ago, we got problems coming up the pipeline with a shortage of rentals, especially single family homes. Like, kids in the future are going to be, they're going to be growing up playing soccer in the hallways of apartment buildings.
I think, I don't want to be the conspiracy guy in the room, but I think this landlord tenant thing is one of the planks for getting rid of. And it's unfortunate that these people, like, it's probably their retirement, but it's one of the things that's pushing that, that person that owns 1 or 2 or 3 rental properties out of that whole thing. But BlackRock's pretty positive about it. They come here buying single detached homes, and I think they're looking at the capital growth, and I think they're looking at exactly what you're saying. Eventually, these detached home rental is going to go higher. Like, you look at Niagara, you can get a like a high rise, a mid rise, the same as you can get a townhouse. But eventually, those townhouses are going to run out. Right.
Yep.
And people are going to absorb those. And then, that price of a rental townhouse is going to go up higher. So you're 100%.
Yeah, it's going to be a luxury.
And you know what? I'm going to channel Conrad here. I got some numbers. I was getting some numbers. I'm like, what would Conrad do here? Okay.
Let's hear it.
But I did on the board, I looked at how many leases there were for sale today. 1,058 on realtor.ca. 1,058 available units.
Wow. And that's across where?
Hamilton. I just did Hamilton. A simple search. Guess how many 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom homes are available? 42 out of 1,058 listings, because a lot of the homes are duplex, triplex, basement. Another thing, guess what the average price is? Average price is anywhere for a home to rent out $2,800 to $3,000. So when you look at a price, and I was like, shit, maybe we should buy that house we keep talking about, guys. Okay, we keep talking about it, but if you bought for $500,000 to $600,000, put down 20%. You're looking at paying principal, interest, and taxes anywhere from $1,950 to $2,280. You are cash flowing. Like, you are cash flowing.
You are. So, you are, because they would pay their own heat and hydro. You just have to get insurance on that. You just got to get insurance. And I adjust the water. And
you go one step further, and that's if you're making about $600 a month cash flow, which you can on that. Now, you have to have the down payment. I think the days of borrowing 100% to invest in real estate are far gone. Can't do that kind of stuff anymore. And if the real estate market went up a measly 3% this year, let's say it goes up 3%, I think, is that crazy? 3%, your ROI on a $600,000 purchase is almost 20%. 20% return. So your $130,000 down payment, closing costs going to make you $7,200 in closing costs, $18,000 lift, 19%. That's a return. So I say.
So that's $120,000 down payment, though.
120 with closing costs. Yeah, 130K.
Cash, right?
Yeah.
So over here, you could see that in Hamilton, there's 27 homes for sale now, priced between $200,000 and $400,000. So that sounds pretty good. I'm sure these all need some work.
Yeah.
And some of them are not in the greatest areas. They're not in the greatest areas. And you could see Burlington, there was 0. So and then Niagara Falls, there's 9 homes. Now I noticed there's less homes available, and I went from 150 to 400 in Niagara Falls. Notice there's less than there is in St. Catharines. That tells you a lot of people are moving to the Falls instead of St. Catharines.
Yes.
They're like the GTA
people. They're bypassing it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So now there's opportunities there, actually there. Now I gotta ask you, Brian, can an investor buy a house with 10% down?
No. Like a single family house?
Single family house.
You can only buy if you're living in it as well too. So you can buy a duplex with 10% down, or you can buy a single family home with 10% down if you're renting out the basement or in-law. But to have purely as investment, you can't do it. The only other alternative is a secondary home. If you're buying a secondary home and you qualify, but you're not allowed to rent it out or use rental income to qualify.
So years ago, when I was buying real estate, I think it was this, and Conrad, you had the 75% first mortgage, and there was a lot of second mortgages like investors were using.
Yep.
And then there was, I think, was it a 15% second?
And
then you come up with 10 or 15% to buy a house way back.
Yeah.
Well, CMHC used to insure these. Like if you go back to 2005, 6, like you could end up buying a rental property with 10% down. You could buy a rental property. I think you could do 5% down. CMHC was doing once upon a time.
Yeah.
No, but as an investor, can I buy right now?
Yeah, 100%. As an investor, Canada Mortgage and Housing used to be so gung-ho on these things. You could refinance your place up to 95% of the value, take that equity out and go buy a rental with 10% down. And keep your primary. Like CMHC, Canada Mortgage and Housing was doing all those.
Those days are gone.
Long gone. yeah. You can't do that anymore. Yeah.
Long gone.
Yeah, long gone. But that's how it was, right? Yeah.
So there's a lot of opportunity here. A lot of opportunity.
I think so too. And just on your point with the landlord tenant board, I was going to say, like, I'm not a fan. I think you're 100% right on that. But I will say you will get a higher quality tenant for a single family home because there aren't very many of them, right? So if you're renting them out, not to say you're not going to get that professional tenant that can screw you over, but I really think you can be a little bit more picky in that department because there's less supply.
More select.
Those professional tenants that want to kind of screw landlords out, it's the belt is tightening on those guys because I think landlords are more aware of what's going on. They're doing heavier researches. So those guys are going to end up homeless. Yeah. And you know that.
And if they have dogs,
the landlords.
If they have dogs, even worse. If they have a dog, but you could get surprised by somebody having a dog. You could, you can't. That's a toughie, the dog one, right? That's.
Do you say
they show
dogs?
up?
Is that like
no? We have dogs in our apartment building. We love dogs. Yeah, we have dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Like
we have a dog wash. We have a dog wash. We have encouraged people to have dogs. We have a dog spa and everything. No, just
So there. Okay, I want to get to something else. So there's a guy. Who he made a comment about our podcast.
Oh yeah.
Last week. Now you mentioned this is the best time. He is missing the point. Right now, it is the best time because when things start moving up, like that's where I think you were trying to explain. And also you're talking about detached homes and
I mean, it's not strictly detached. Yeah. When you start to compare them to other types of properties, right? That's critical, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, but also it is because we go in I guess segments of the market. So right now we're in a segment where the market's down in price wise, like compared to was, in the last few years, right? Even the market was better last year. But we know the market's going to change with history, what we've seen in history, the market will climb. Yeah. We're right now in a flat zone or whatever, but the market will go up. I tell people right now is a good time. And some people say, why is it a good time? Houses are expensive. Well, guess what? Remember 2017? Remember 2000, when houses, everybody thought they were expensive and the market did have a little shift in 2017, but then it started climbing again. People in 2017 thought they bought too high. They're probably so happy that they did buy now. Like their value from 2017 to now. So people, when you're listening, can I say people or am I going to get fired?
Guys.
I can't say you people. I can't say you people.
Yeah.
Anyway, but anyway, what we're saying is the values of the properties are pretty right now stagnant and they're staying. They're on hold right now. Some properties are selling for good. If you got a super property that's got all the upgrades, everything, the landscaping, kitchen, baths, everything's all done, you're going to get premium property right now. But the values are going to start climbing again. Properties, it shows since 1960 till now, Property values have doubled in value, even through all the recessions, except for the 1990s. That's the only decade in 70 years, I think we're talking about 60 years, that prices kind of held itself flatline. We're going through that little flatline right now. But it's not going to be as long as it was in the 90s, but it is going to climb. And I do feel it's going to climb in a short time. I think we have a breathing room about 8 months, maybe more. It's hard to tell, but once we hit middle, or even we're going to have a little flurry in the beginning of 2026. But I'll tell you, 2027, if you haven't bought a house, you are going to pay more money.
There's going to be a little wild card. I don't know if you've been following it, but all the major builders in Canada descended on Ottawa and said, we want to lift the foreign buyer, the foreign buyer ban. Yeah. So when they lift that foreign buyer ban, you got to look out.
Do you think they'll be successful?
You know what? I'll tell you something. I've been in the room with some of these guys. They do have the ear of some heavy duty politicians and industry people. Yeah, because you're starting to see this. There's going to be some construction runs this country. Right, construction,
big time,
real estate has been up for resale. Yeah, so I was amazed. City of Hamilton just reduced development charges by 20%, like a sacred cow. That was a sacred cow. Vaughan reduced it to 50%. So you're starting.
They need to do it. Like nobody, but still, I think Hamilton still 20% is not enough. It's still expensive.
Oh no, it's not enough. Yeah. It's not enough.
That's the right direction though. And you know what? Something too is when it comes down to stability in the marketplace. People got to remember, this whole Bank of Canada interest rate thing that we start talking about, it's a non-conversation. I was looking into it. The Bank of Canada, on average, over the past 50 years, do you know how many times they touched the rate? How many times in the past 50 years per year? Twice. So on average, you're looking at maybe a quarter up, maybe a quarter down. Over the past 50, 60 years, if you take the benchmark, that's how often the Bank can move. So the fact that we had 3 pauses, we're stable. We are stable. Like to your point, Rob, it's not going up right now. It's not going down right now.
No.
That's Bank of Canada saying we see stability. Are we going to see a quarter up or a quarter down at some point? Of course we are. But it's not going to be any huge up or down, in my opinion.
No. Oh, awesome.
So we got to work.
Where are you guys at now?
You
guys got like a nice little room back there.
We're in the VIP lounge.
Yeah, we just redid the podcast here. We have another seating area over there, a little with a fireplace, and another little.
It's actually really
Winterberry. Winterberry.
What's that?
Winterberry.
Yeah, Winterberry. Yeah.
They redid it. It's actually there's three seats. It's really nice.
I'll take you around.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'll take you around.
It's a big room. Take me for a tour.
Yeah.
It looks good. Guys, anything else going on that people like to hear out there?
No, you know what? I think right now, Toronto finally saw positive territory. The month-over-month numbers are staggering. We had tremendous July as a company, and I know you guys too, Rob. A lot of stuff selling. We had 3 consecutive weeks where we outsold the new listing inventory. And the pause, and I don't know if you saw the appointment center this week, but I showed the pauses and what the activity for showings and sales. And sure enough, every time there was a pause, you got this flurry of activity because people said, you know what, this could be the end. Like, this is it. So this is maybe the way we have to live, with rates like this for the next little while. So,
and if that's the case, then people will start coming back into the market and start buying, and it'll be a nice normal market. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, good stuff.
Guys, listen, I appreciate your time. And if you're listening, just follow us on all stations, all social media channels, YouTube, everywhere else you can find us. Just look out, and you can look at past episodes. And we've been at this, I think, is it 4 years now, Mike? Oh, 4 years. Hey,
where's our cake?
we gotta have a cake. We gotta have a cake. Absolutely, for sure. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week. Take care.